Why is it so hard to just do what we want to do, to be who we want to be, to live the life that we want to live? We can see it in our head, we can almost taste it and feel it, but every time we go to take that first step in moving us closer, something stops us. We start worrying what other people will think. We get this fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of embarrassing ourselves. And so we just don't take any action. And it's so infuriating because we know we would be so much happier if we were just able to get over those hurdles and start living a life that we really want to. If this resonates with you, you are definitely not alone. And I can tell you, I have absolutely been through this myself, where I've seen what I've wanted, but something has stopped me, and it's really frustrated and upset me. And in this video, we're going to go through some steps you can take so you can have a concrete foundation that's going to help you take those first steps. Because those first steps are absolutely the hardest. They're the scariest, they're also the most exciting, but after those first few steps, every step after that gets a bit easier. But those first few, wow, they're big, big steps. And in order to make sure you actually take them, you need to have something very concrete under you, grounding you, so that nothing can deter you, so that you feel brave enough to do this. So if you stick with me in this video, hopefully by the end you are going to feel brave enough to go out there and live the life you want to live, do what you want to do. So there are 6 steps we're going to talk through. The first step, you need to understand why you want whatever it is you want. So let's say you want to change careers, you want to start your own company, you want to do something different. Why do you want that? A lot of people focus a lot of their time and energy on the what. What am I going to do? What am I going to earn? What's it going to look like? But they don't focus on the why. And the reason it's very important that we focus on the why is because that is where the emotion and the feelings are. And that is really what is going to ground you. So when you're feeling a bit uncertain, and there will be uncertain times where you're questioning your decisions, you will keep on going back to that why. So whatever it is you want to do, take a few minutes to understand, why do I want this? Think about the feelings you're hoping it's going to bring you. How do you hope it's going to make your life feel? How is it going to make you feel? If you want to earn a certain amount, why? If you want to move into a certain career or start a certain company, why? And get really connected with that why, and write out a few sentences, because that is going to be your anchor when the seas get a bit rough. Really connect with your feelings there. It's really, really important you take the time to do this. So that is the first step. Really understand the why behind the what. For me, when I was starting my own business, there were so many whys. I wanted to feel more connected with my children, and I felt by having my own business I could manage my schedule, and I knew that was going to make me feel like a better mother. It was going to make me feel more connected with my children. I wanted to do work where I could really connect with other people and really feel like I was adding value to the world. So that was something that it still drives me so much, that I really feel that I can help people, that I can add value, that I can help. So these are really the why. So whenever I was struggling, I'd look at my children and think, okay, I know we're going to have a better bond. And when I would look at people, I think, okay, I know I can help you. And there are many other whys, but I won't go into all of them in this video. The next thing you want to look at is, what will your life look like if you don't do this? So you want to make it so clear that it would really hurt you. It would be detrimental to your life and your happiness if you didn't do this. So imagine if you don't go out there and do what it is you desperately want to do. How is this going to affect you personally? Are you going to be a happier person, or a sadder, frustrated, angry person? How's that going to impact the relationships you have with your friends and with your family? How's that going to impact your life as a whole? Imagine you're 80 years old and you're looking back on your life. How will you feel, when you're 80 years old and you look back and you think, wow, you never did it. You never just tried, you never went for it. How is that going to make you feel? And then do the opposite. Imagine you did try. When you'd look back when you're 80 years old, what would you think about that? Would you be proud of yourself that you gave it a go, that you went out there and, you did it when so many people didn't? You did it. How is it going to make you feel as an individual? Will you feel happier? Will you feel more content, more connected with yourself? And how's that going to impact the relationships you have with people around you? So really get the contrast there to feel it is not enough for me to not do this, because the impact on me personally is going to be huge, and that is of course going to filter out to the people I love. Because I can tell you, I know from experience, when I'm not being, true to myself, when I am not doing what I know I need to be doing, I'm not a very nice person. I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, and a lot of the time I can't even understand where it's coming from. And that's when I start doing my journaling and really understand, okay, because you're not doing something that's true to you, you're starting to get frustrated at other people in your life, and you're starting to snap at them because you're not happy at yourself. So start recognizing that. Number 3, you want to start looking at the beliefs you have about yourself. Now, I do have another video which I will link to that just purely covers beliefs, because it's quite a big topic. But basically, beliefs are how you see yourself. So if you are someone who always says, oh, I'm just not lucky, things like that never happen to me. Oh, I just really can never do that. Those are beliefs. So it's the narrative you tell yourself about yourself. And the thing about beliefs is they are so ingrained that if you tell yourself you can't do something, it will be almost impossible for you to actually go out and do it, because you believe it's not possible, and so it will not be possible. So when you start thinking about this goal you have, what pops into your head? Listen to the negative story. Are you saying things like, someone like you won't have the commitment for that? Or someone like you would never be able to do that? Or, oh, you try so many things and you never follow through with anything. If those are stories you're hearing yourself say, those are your negative beliefs. And it's really important you learn what they are, you get rid of them, and you replace them with something positive. And again, the other video I have goes through in detail how you can do that. But just already start being aware of that voice in your head that isn't saying very nice things to you. Because if you can't get over them, it will be very difficult, almost impossible for you to actually go out there and take what you want. The 4th step, you will never feel fully ready. And if you are waiting on the sidelines, waiting to feel ready, to know this is right, to have 100% certainty and clarity, you will never jump. Because you'll never feel ready. Because in order to feel ready, you actually have to do something you haven't done before. Because that is how you grow that muscle. That is how you learn the skills. You have to go out and start doing it. You can't, theorize forever. You can't just read and learn. You actually have to go out and do. You have to put that theory into practice. And it is awkward and it is uncomfortable, and there will be days when you don't know what you're doing and you do question yourself, and you might feel silly and you might feel embarrassed, and it's an up and down. Again, really speaking from experience, it is such a roller coaster. But the sooner you recognize that's okay and that's how it's meant to be, the better. You're not meant to know it all. No one has all the answers. No one is perfect. You can't get perfect until you do things that are imperfect, because it's only by doing things and getting experience that you get feedback to learn what's working and what's not. And so this is such a big point. Stop waiting to feel ready, and don't think for a second anyone else out there who's jumped and done what you want to do. Do not fool yourself into thinking that they ever felt ready, because they didn't. They were also standing exactly where you are now, thinking, oh my God, is this right? Do I know what I'm doing? Is this the right decision? They also didn't know. But they just went out and they gave it a go, and then they got feedback and they gained experience and they made tweaks, and they learned as they went. And as I say, the sooner you accept it, it will make things so much easier. It takes so much pressure off you. I don't have to be perfect, and I don't have to know all the steps. I'm just going to go out there and give it a go and see what happens. Make it fun. The 5th step, get momentum. These steps, as I say, the first steps, they're really hard. They are really hard, but you don't have to make them massive. So make the first few steps really small. It might be as small as, I'm going to take half an hour this week to read a book about something, or I'm going to take half an hour this week to research an area I'm interested in, and then after that create your next step. But it's really important that once you get going, you keep going, and don't make it so unrealistic that every evening for 2 hours I'm going to do this, because then if you aren't able to do that, maybe you just say, oh well, forget it, I can't even do that, I'll never be able to succeed. So at the beginning, ruthlessly prioritize. Just pick one small thing, and when you've completed that, pick another small thing. And what will happen, it will be like a snowball effect. You'll get more confident, you'll start to believe this is actually possible, you'll start to really enjoy it, and you'll want to do more. But if you start too big, it can seem very overwhelming. So small steps, but make sure you're doing it, as I say, every week, or if you have the time, every 3 days, or every 2 weeks, but whatever it is, make it consistent. And then the last step is to expand your network. So generally, throughout life, we tend to surround ourselves with people who think like us, who act like us, who work in similar environments with us, because we get them. So it's really easy to converse and to socialize with them. But the downside to that is you're always seeing the same. So if you are working in the corporate world, and you have done for 10, 20 years, most likely a lot of your friends work in the corporate world, they think very similarly to you. And what this can mean is that you don't have real life examples of people who have done what you want to do. So it's really important you get those people in your life. Of course, there are plenty of extremely successful people you can look at online, but they can seem sometimes so successful that we tend to tell ourselves, oh, well, that's Branson, or, that's Elon Musk, and they're not like normal people. So we can tell ourselves that story. So it's really important you get some real life role models and mentors in your life. And how can you do that? Just go on social media, go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, look for meetup groups, and actually just find a few people who you find really inspiring and just reach out to them. It might seem a bit scary, but if people message me, and sometimes they do, saying, I really like what you've done, I'd love to understand more, how did you take the step from corporate to starting your own business, I'm always happy to talk to them about it. I find it very flattering, and if I can help someone, fine. And if I don't have the time, maybe I put them in touch with someone who I feel could also help them. And what's the worst that happens? You message someone and they don't respond. Yeah, big deal, right? Plenty more people you can reach out to. But getting some real life people in your network that can inspire you and show you it is possible, it's so important, and that you keep on connecting with them. So those are the 6 steps you need to take to get this concrete foundation. Because if you take the time to complete these steps, it doesn't mean, as I say, that you will feel ready, because most likely you never will. But you're going to have an anchor as to, why do I want this? Not the what, but why. You're also going to understand how it's going to impact your life if you don't do this, if you don't take action, how you're not going to be such a happy, content person, and how that's going to impact people around you. Are you okay with that? Don't you want to be a happy person who's really enjoying life? You will also have looked at your beliefs and replaced them with something positive. You'll have got your momentum going, and you're going to have some inspiring people in your network. Now that should be enough to just give you that confidence to take that first step and start doing it. Start getting yourself out there. I really hope you take the time to complete these steps. I promise you it's absolutely worthwhile. At the beginning, a lot of what you need to do, it is research, it is understanding yourself, and it's getting yourself to a point where you might not feel ready, but you feel comfortable enough to go out there and take those first few steps. And just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. And everyone you ever see who is doing what you want to do, they also didn't have the answers. They gained it through years of hard work and experience. Let me know in the comments, out of those 6 tips, which one you're going to try first. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video.